Before we jump in, if you like weekly stock updates and real portfolio transparency, hit like, subscribe, and comment your take on the stock this week. Helps a ton. Alright, welcome back to another episode where I buy 10 shares of... Yep, still doing that, so let's get right into the stock update. This is PayPal Weekly episode number 4. So yeah, we pretty much did a whole month of this PayPal episode type of thing so far, and I think we're doing quite alright. I really enjoy your cooperation with the product and with this entire project, and I appreciate you guys following me and this journey with the PayPal stock. I'm personally very enthusiastic when it comes to the stock, and I hope you are as well. But now, without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's begin, as always, with the comments we received. This time we didn't really receive any comments, so I sure encourage you guys to leave your opinion in the comments. Maybe your current price predictions and why you think PayPal is going to be valued at a price XYZ in the future. Maybe not. And here I've shared some insight from Twitter, from X. Of course, you can see the usernames as well, so that you can just follow these guys if you want to continue reading their comments on the stock, since usually I've just taken a snippet of a part of their comments, since most of them were too long, especially those from Tokyo, AlphaMind, and Compounding Lab. So let's start with the first. Compounding Lab saying that he's delighted to share an update on the DCF valuation model, saying that PayPal doesn't really need to be great, and basically they're already being valued quite fairly, or yeah, undervalued. So even with minimal growth or no growth at all and some buybacks, it's already in a very great position as of now. But if you want to continue reading that, just look at their X profile. Same for the Tokyo AlphaMind guy, sharing that his base case model for PayPal has developed as such that his price target for 2030 is at $150 for several reasons. But as I said before, you can just look at that. Juan also mentioned something noteworthy, saying that the buybacks should be accelerated, at least for now, since currently, as you guys all know, PayPal stock is valued quite yeah, low, you could say, or on a sale. That's basically it. I would say we get to the meme of the week, which in this case is PayPal being at $60 and hitting that mark over and over again, slightly dipping under, and then hopefully in the future slowly rising up to the stars, into the wind. We'll see. Yeah, so PayPal at the end of this week was at around $59 to $60. This here shows the price movement at Saturday as well, where it dipped a little bit lower, so it's like 59.9 to 60.1 more or less. That's the most recent price we got so far. And yeah, with that we'll get to the PayPal purchases. So I bought at a very similar price to the week before, which is 59.22. And I got, once again, 10 shares of that, meaning I invested $592.20 into the stock, leaving me with a total invested amount so far of $2,411.20, which is quite a decent sum so far, at least considering we've only been doing this for 1 month. But so far, nothing truly spectacular here. So far, so good. We can go to the next slide. So as you can see here, if we look at the historical stock price and stock price movement of PayPal, In regards to the weekly percent change, nothing really much has happened. We moved very slightly upwards, which is 0.27%, mainly due to not really there being any trades or many trades on those days, since on most of the days the exchange was closed to begin with. And as I guys told you before, personally, I think the likelihood of us having seen the low is already quite high, because what happens at the end of the year with stocks like this, some people want to realize some losses, some stock losses, in order to not have to pay taxes on the gains they made on other stocks. So lots of people sell those types of stocks at the end of the year, which leads to some pressure for stocks like PayPal in this case. So I think we most likely have seen the low, since now there's like 1 month, 1 month more or less, since we get a new intel in regards to the new quarterly report. And usually for PayPal at a time like this, the stock starts to slowly move up in appreciation of the next quarterly results. What happens afterwards is most of the time a crash, but we'll have to see about that in the future. So let's get to the current PayPal portfolio net worth, which is a bit lower than what I've invested. The weekly gain was $13.30, which we gained in just a matter of a week. In total, we are still down $12.40. But if we just were to continue, the most recent week's trend of gaining like 0.3% over a single week, we should already be good by the end of next week. So I'm very optimistic in that regard, and happy that we can build such a decent position into the stock while it's still cheap. So last but not least, in this case, is the dividends. Still no more news in regards to that. Still sitting at around 14 cents per share. My expected quarterly dividend has risen to $5.60, which is a projected yearly dividend of about $22.40, or if you were to break it down per month, $1.87, which is already quite nice. So that's almost $2. Hopefully next week we've broken through the $2 mark. Quite happy to be seeing that, but yeah, nothing huge going on here. And very short week, so it's really hard to tell or give you much info, but there's still a few things that have happened in this short amount of time. So the stock in itself didn't really move all that much, so there's not much that has been done in that time frame. As I said before, a little bit of downward pressure in advance, but that's about it. I think we are through that phase, and I'm very optimistic for the very short time, because I think leading up to this quarterly results, we are going to be seeing a slight increase in price action of maybe like 5 to 20% in that frame, more or less. That's my expectation for PayPal at least. And I'm very curious to see in actuality how it's going to evolve in the upcoming weeks. So there was an interview with Dr. Mark Grather. I'm thinking of maybe covering the interview on this channel as well. I haven't fully watched it yet, but I did read some summaries on the interview in itself. It was around 30 minutes long, so you can just watch it on the Market Acture TV channel on YouTube. The video is called PayPal Open Commerce with Dr. Mark Grather, Retail Media, Agentic Commerce at Market Acture Live. So feel free to take a look into that if that interests you. But chances are high that I'm going to cover it in a separate video. But as I said, I have to fully watch it first, and then I'll do or not do it in that case. So one of the very few informations I've been able to extract from this so far is that PayPal seems to be ahead in schedule in some ways, at least when it comes to the advertising business, because for when it comes to Venmo, in October at least, they were sold out when it comes to the real estate which they made available for advertisement. So that for once sounds very interesting to me. And it does show that people are very interested, or that businesses are very interested in the advertisement space on PayPal in itself. And that PayPal, even though it may seem slow all the time when it comes to delivering on their actual promises, it does feel like on some parts they might be ahead of schedule, which is so very unexpected for me that it actually surprises me in a very good way. So that's something to keep in mind. And Dr. Mark Rather is such an interesting person. He would be deserving of an entire video in itself. But feel free to just like read up on his career so far, things he did, things he managed to achieve in other companies so far. If he just manages to do 25% of what he did for other companies, then this is going to be fantastic for PayPal, and it could be the turnaround of the decade. So yeah, very curious to see how that plays out. Next, institutional positioning. Very important in my mind. There are institutions who've changed their position with PayPal. If I've seen this correctly, don't quote me on this, as always do your own research, but what I could see is that Capricorn Fund Managers disclosed a PayPal position, and the Carnegie Investment Council disclosed that they sold 22,290 shares, so they trimmed their stake by around 23%. So nothing much in here, nothing too important. One thing is a little bit good, the other is a bit bad. It doesn't really matter all that much, since this is like an end of the year thing. It could be them trying to cover for some of their other positions. So yeah, as I said, nothing too huge that has happened here, and pretty much that's going to be it for this episode. There's nothing much else we could discuss here. It's due to Christmas. It was very tight when it comes to the current news for the stock. I hope you guys don't mind too much that this episode is much shorter than the others. However, that's it that we can tell or say at this point. Hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. As always, tell me your opinion in the comments. It's very much appreciated. I enjoy every single comment I read, be it positive or negative. So you might let your opinion loose in the comments, and I'm going to fully appreciate it. So that's it. Wish you guys all the best for the new and upcoming year. See you guys in the new year, since this is going to be the last episode for this year. And goodbye.